They use their schools to teach children that their president is another Hitler. They use their movie stars and singers and comedy shows and award shows to repeat their narrative over and over again. And then they use their ex-president to endorse the resistance, all to make them march, make them protest, make them scream racism and sexism and xenophobia and homophobia, to smash windows, burn cars, shut down interstates and airports, bully and terrorize the law-abiding.
Well, that is a clip from Dana Loesch's NRA ad. It's under fire from some on the left who claim it provokes fear and incites violence. Now, a gun control group backed by Michael Bloomberg is responding with its own ad. Take a look. Roll tape.
Let's take a break from the politics of fear. Let's celebrate the values that make our country strong and bond all of us together as Americans. Be thankful for the freedoms we have, for family, for the bravery of those on the front lines. We know America is great, and we know there's a lot most Americans can agree on, including sensible gun safety laws that help protect our freedom and those we love.
Well, there you have it. There's a response. NRA spokesperson Dana Loesch joins us now. Dana, great to see you. What's your thoughts on that response to the NRA ad?
I think it's incredibly ironic because the supporters of that group have sent gruesome mail to my home. They've created videos where they fetishized about killing me. They also spread lies about actual gun control laws. And I think it's interesting that they talk about celebrating freedoms while they believe in banning all guns. Stuart, I just want to remind everyone that the spokesperson for those groups defines assault weapons as, and I'm directly quoting her, any firearm that fires 10 rounds per minute. Well, that's basically all firearms. So that's what they're wanting to ban, but they're trying to deceive you with a smile.
And what stands out to me in your ad, the things that you're talking about are not made up. They actually happen. The aggression from the left, where the Trump supporters are out, they get attacked by people with masks on, and it gets very violent. The images that you're posting are actually real.
Yes, they are, Stuart. They're absolutely real. I mean, I'm in this ad that I created with the NRA. And by the way, this came from concerns from membership. Membership was very concerned about a lot of the violence that they had been seeing, and that's what the ad directly came from. This is footage of actual violent leftists who are burning buildings, who are assaulting peaceful protesters, and they do it as a form of protest. They think that that's protected speech. Now, you and I both know that there is a huge difference between peaceful protest and violent riots. And I myself have organized and participated in peaceful protests. Stuart, there are some on the left who participate in peaceful protest. But what this is not peaceful protest. These are violent riots where you have property destruction, where you have people who are going to the hospital for injuries they sustain from some of these violent individuals. So, no, none of this stuff, this isn't peaceful protest. And you know what? I'll put it this way, because I know that one of the Only Some Women's group, the Only Some Women's March, has responded to this as well. And I want to respond to that, because this is a group that just yesterday video emerged of their leader calling for jihad against the White House, a group that has featured as key members convicted terrorists, a group where at their marches they have spoken about blowing up the White House, and whose organizer has talked about beating women who are survivors of female genital mutilation and, quote, taking their vaginas away from them because they disagree with her about Sharia.
Well, Dana, and listen to this. Linda Sarsour, a prominent Muslim activist, also facing backlash for her recent comments about waging jihad. Roll tape.
Jihad. And I hope that when we stand up to those who oppress our communities, that Allah accepts from us that as a form of jihad, that we are struggling against tyrants and rulers, not only abroad in the Middle East or in the other side of the world, but here in these United States of America, where you have fascists and white supremacists and Islamophobes reigning in the White House.
Dana, I just need your reaction to that very quickly.
Yes. Yes, and I called you Stuart earlier, and I want to correct myself.
I'm honored.
Ashley, I apologize for that. No, it's, you know, you get into the topic of it, and you're just going, and we have fun every morning. No, that ad, by the way, or that response, that speech was given at a very questionably extremist conference that's held annually. And at this conference in 2001, Anwar al-Awlaki spoke at this particular conference. And before Linda Sarsour began her speech here, where she was basically attacking anyone who disagreed with her stance, she started by thanking her mentor, who is one of the unindicted co-conspirators in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. So this stuff, this is violent. Me condemning violence and explicitly calling out violent acts, Ashley, that is not violence. This kind of stuff, calling for jihad against President Trump, that is violent if we want to have a discussion as to what is or isn't violent.